Hello everybody, I'm the voice Craig Anderson, and you're listening to Dirt Sheet Mania after 4 years away, and we're back for episode 1. We're back, Kieran. We're back after 4 years away. Dirt Sheet Mania is back. How are you doing? I haven't seen you for ages.
I've not seen you at all either. Not at all in 4 years. You look very skinny.
Thank you. You look hairier.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I'm part ginger, which is always good, but I still have my soul, so I'm happy. So yeah, how's things, Craig?
They're good. I did a bit in 4 years. I've been busy boy. Yeah, it's good. I did live in Leeds. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah,
I used to live in Leeds.
Yeah.
And we used to do it on Skype. Do you remember that?
We did, yeah, Skype.
We did.
Yeah, that age-old thing.
Yeah.
I'd bring back MSN Messenger.
Oh, yeah. Oh, 7 is online. Anyway, we can get distracted. So, if you've just found Dirt Sheet Mania and you're thinking, what the hell is this? Who the hell are these guys? Quick introduction. My name is Craig Anderson. I am a former professional wrestling referee of 4 years. Refed over 500 matches, pay-per-views, television. Had an absolute balling time doing all that.
Got pinned in one match as well.
I did get pinned. Yeah. I had a match. Well, we might talk about that some other time, but I did get pinned in a match. That was a lot of fun. I also have a media degree from the University of Leeds Trinity. In my final year, I specialised in radio broadcasting. Kieran Smith, the director of creativity He Can Create So You Can Procrastinate, is my co-host, panellist. Well, how would you describe yourself, Kieran?
The better looking half of the duo.
I'd agree.
According to 1 out of 100 women.
That one was your mum as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, but she has to. Someone's got to love this face.
Kieran, tell these people who you are. And what you're doing.
Well, yeah, as Craig says, I'm Kieran Smith. Few people know me. A lot of people don't. And let's try and keep it that way. I used to manage a football team on Sunday called Mania Revolution. Managed there for 4 years, ran the club for 7. We've won a league title, controversially. Long story. And if anyone's listening to this from Revo back in the day, my 2 words for you are no comment.
And that's all from Kieran. So, Kieran, we'll start Raw and Smackdown. That's what we're going to review today. And we're actually bringing a brilliant time to bring Dirt Sheet Mania back because it was the 25th anniversary of Monday Night Raw. I actually came round to watch it with you and your brother Jamie, Jam as we affectionately call him. And, I was excited. It had an hour pre-show. And I felt like this was a pay-per-view. I'm going to be around here Friday and I'm going to be around here Saturday watching NXT and the Royal Rumble.
You mean Saturday
and Sunday watching the Royal Rumble. Yeah. And I was excited. I was like, yeah, this is going to be a great week of wrestling. It's going to be so cool. The video package that went round a few days before was like a 3-minute video package. That hyped me up even more. And going into Raw on Monday night, how did you feel?
Well, I was expecting a lot of big things, usually in an anniversary show, like Raw 1000. We were expecting like a celebration of things wrestling, all things Raw, WWE. I was excited for it. I was waiting for it all day. I finished work early just to sort of catch up on a few hours sleep before the show. Because obviously over here in the UK, we've got to wait until 1 o'clock in the morning every time.
We definitely have the short straw.
Yeah, we do. But yeah, I was looking forward to it. And, this episode, we're going to be talking about Raw 25.
Yeah.
Or as some people might call it, Bore 25.
Yeah, so we'll say right off the bat, we here at Dirt Sheet Mania, we love wrestling. Like, Kieran watched WCW for years, I watched WWE for years, I also watched a hell of a lot of TNA back in the day. We think we've got a really well-rounded opinion of what we like of wrestling. Doesn't mean we're right, doesn't mean we're wrong, it's just what we like as wrestling. And
opinions are like ourselves, Greg.
Everyone's got one.
Yeah.
And this is why we're doing Dirt Sheet Mania. So going into Raw 25, this is our opinion on how we think it was. And I think it was the worst Monday Night Raw I've ever seen.
I wouldn't go with the worst Monday Night Raw.
Okay, as of 2018, and I reckon this probably will hold up as the worst Raw. When Raw gets really naff in between WrestleMania and SummerSlam, some of them Raws have been better than this.
Possibly. I'd challenge you to go watch a few Raws from 1993. You might change your mind.
Well, nonetheless, let's get into it. First segment right off the bat. Well, in fact, so you predicted that we would start in the Manhattan Center with Vince in the ring. Okay,
Yeah, that's what I thought.
you were quite with
Close,
with Stephanie
with
and
Shane in the Barclays Centre.
And I tell you what, you weren't far off.
I wasn't far off.
JR and King give us a quick 10-second, hi everyone, we're here. And guess what? We're going to be napping in 5 minutes because this is going to be bloody boring. If you've watched Raw already, you'll completely understand what I've seen. And you've probably seen that picture as well of JR and King have a little snooze. We shift over to the Barclays and there's Stephanie and Shane in the ring. Pretty cool. McMahon's opening Raw. Like, obviously it's their house. They built it. Blah, blah, blah. They bring out Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Yeah. Out he comes, doing the walk. The fans love it. There's a massive standing ovation for Vince. And Shane and Stephanie, they've got this plaque. And they want to honour Vince. They want to say, thank you, Vince. 25 years ago, you thought of doing Monday Night Raw. And look at we're here now. What did you think of Vince coming out to open Raw?
I want to know where this GoFundMe thing was, because to be honest, I'd want a refund for just getting that plaque. But and also let's be honest, don't think Vince knows what a GoFundMe is.
I don't think
he can probably go fund himself at the moment. So
I think you're right. I don't think Vince A knows what GoFundMe is, and B, at times it was a little awkward. This, I'm not gonna lie. Like,
well, you never know. Vince might need a bit of extra money for some possible venture into the world of American football.
XFL returning soon, we think. But anyway, we've got enough about Raw to talk about, let alone getting into the XFL. They give him this plaque. They say, thank you, Dad, thank you, Vince. Weird. They call him by his first name. Don't like that. And Vince, like on a dime, just flips and just starts running down everyone in New York City, running down the Barclays Centre. And within literally 60 seconds of them giving him a standing ovation, walking to the ring, the entire place is booing him. Can anyone Vince is just one of a kind, isn't he?
Yeah, they do say he's a creative genius. But I loved it. I loved the whole first segment with Vince and the family. It's how you should start off Raw. It's just how you start off the celebration. Vince built built the company from what he got from his father, and obviously 25 years of a weekly show with no breaks in between. It deserves a lot of plaudits in doing that.
Even the really bad snow blizzard we had a few years ago, they still managed to churn out a Raw from Stamford, Connecticut at the head office. They still managed to do that with promos and backstage segments. Literally an amazing achievement, and hopefully this would be the crowning glory of 25 years of Monday Night Raw. So, potentially predictable?
I'd probably say so, yeah. Once you knew who was going to be there, look, you think wrestling from the Attitude Era, the two people that are going to be in your head are going to be Vince and Stone Cold.
Well, it was the main rivalry, I think.
Yeah,
it kind of went up and down. They sort of went their separate ways. Vince became a babyface halfway through the Attitude Era, and then he went back to being heel. But yeah, like you say, it is the main thing you think of. What kicked off the Attitude Era was Stone Cold and Vince McMahon. Austin comes out to a huge ovation. Something that we picked up on when Stone Cold came out. He went to that first turnbuckle. He threw the birds up, backwards obviously like he does, threw the birds up. The camera got it. Went to the second one. Camera pans up, then pans just slightly down so it doesn't get his fingers in.
Yeah, keep it PG. Gotta keep it PG.
Steve clearly was in the moment and didn't give a crap about what he was doing.
I'm sure Steve won't ever change his mind to do that again in any future one. That's what it is. It's up to WWE to cover that up if they want to cover it up.
And they did. But fair play. I mean, again, the ovation he got. I mean, even when he was in the ring just staring down Vince, like Vince's facials, they're just... Anyone watching this, there's a wrestling fan. Those facials Vince McMahon pulled are just so great. He's so... Just by Stone Cold being there on Vince's face completely sold the moment. Vince tries to palm off a potential beating onto his son Shane.
Which was funny.
Very funny. Very funny. Stephanie at this point has, as you probably noticed in the corner of your eye, quickly legged it.
Yeah.
She's
sitting next to Corey Gray. She's probably enjoying it a bit far too much.
Really? I mean, I did. You pointed this out to me at the time. I didn't see that.
Yeah, she just sat down next to Corey Gray. She's just chilling, watching the segment from the side.
Having a giggle about her brother and her dad.
I know that I'd have a giggle about it too if I wasn't on camera. But
she got caught though.
Yeah.
Eventually, Steve does eventually stunner Shane McMahon. First one was great. That second stunner that he gives him in a minute is even better.
Yeah.
Vince, they have a hug. They raise each other's hands. We think, I mean, I don't know about you, but I always thought he was going to get stunned.
Yeah, yeah.
Vince goes to leave, turns around, boom, stunner. beers in, gives Shane a beer. Halfway through drinking the beer, it was. I mean, it's a famous stuff. I think was it from pay-per-view back in the Attitude Era when Shane McMahon told Steve Austin when he found out who ran him over, and it was a rerun of Steve Blackman running over Shane from Ken Shamrock actually from a few weeks prior, and he stunned him with the beer full of mouth and.
The beer full of mouth, the mouth full of beer.
Mouthful of beer.
Yeah, well done.
But just brilliant. Shane sold that stunner like an absolute.
Yeah, like I said, the whole segment was good. That first segment, we thought was going to set the pace for the show, what it was going to be. A lot of old stuff, with obviously the new talent that are currently around, and a good mixture of that. Good to see Stone Cold because he's not around a lot. He doesn't come onto the shows a lot, which is good, which makes these appearances all the better. And you just gotta love that. Gotta love Stone Cold, especially when that glass smashes, and all hell's gonna raise.
All hell breaks loose. Yeah, absolutely. This segment, I was so excited after this segment. So I'm thinking, oh my god, this is set an electric pace. Red hot Raw. This is going to be great. 3 hours of this. Bring it on. Cannot wait. We move on next, and I quickly should say there is. I tell you what, there is so much in this Raw. I mean, despite what we think of it as a final product. They did put a hell of a lot into a 3 hour, 15-minute broadcast with breaks. I don't know, it's probably like 2.5 hours long of Monday Night Raw. They put in so much. So if we've missed something or skipped over something, tweet us at Dirt Sheet Mania. We're also on Facebook at Dirt Sheet Mania. YouTube at Dirt Sheet Mania.
Pretty much everything's at Dirt Sheet Mania.
If you type in Dirt Sheet Mania to Facebook, to anywhere, to just to Google, you'll
find us
we
somewhere.
Will spring up like an
send a pigeon, Dirt Sheet Mania.
Send a carrier pigeon. Yeah. We will spring up like an unwanted zit on your internet feed.
Pretty much. At some point we will.
Anyway, we move on to an 8-women tag team match. So in one corner you had Absolution, not Paige of course. You had Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville teaming with Alicia Fox and Nia Jax. On the other side, you had Asuka, Bayley, Sasha Banks, and Mickie James. Note, before we actually get into the match, what did you think of Paige actually being there in her wrestling gear at ringside?
So this is the problem I find. Now, obviously, there are all the rumours out that her wrestling career has ended.
WWE haven't confirmed it. They've just said she's out.
Confirmed it. So. Paige hasn't confirmed it.
Her tweet. What did her tweet say?
It was something about the future or something like that.
This is my year.
Yeah.
And this is after the rumours.
Yeah. So she's not in the Royal Rumble match, which is obviously a shame for her. Because I'd probably say she's one of the favourites to win it if she was in it.
Agreed.
But if she's not wrestling, if she's told her wrestling career's over, I think it's a bit harsh on her to make her get in some wrestling gear, her wrestling gear that's been specially made for her. Don't worry, Craig's just dropped something.
Just dropped my tablet. I keep my notes on.
You idiot. You stupid idiot. Yeah, I think it's a bit harsh for her to be in a wrestling gear. I don't think that's right. I think, just let her dress in normal street clothes. She's going to act like a manager now. We're assuming that's what she's going to be like. She can still be the leader of Absolution.
She can be the mouthpiece of Absolution.
Yeah, she's very good on the mic.
Very good.
One, for a British wrestler, because British wrestlers don't tend to be good on mics. And two, for a woman, she's very good on the mic.
She is.
Compared to the other people on that roster.
Oh, no, absolutely. There's no question. Like, whether you're male or female, if you can do it on the mic, you'll be given mic time, and Paige is given mic time, and out of all the Absolution, if there's like a promo to be had, she'll do 75-80% of it, and Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville would then do that little cherry on the top,
and that's just to get them to learn to be in the same ring as the same, and I think that's good for them. But I just think don't put her in a wrestling gear.
Just quickly, again, don't want to dwell on this sort of point too much because we want to move on to the other bits of Raw, but I said this when we were watching it, you weren't so sure. Do you think because she can't be in the ring with them, do you think someone like Alicia Fox, who actually isn't really doing anything at the moment, do you think she'd be drafted in as that new member of Absolution?
Potentially. I can see the Absolution group growing if Paige is not wrestling.
What more? You mean more ladies added?
Maybe more ladies added.
You don't see it dissolving?
No, not yet. I think they need each other at the moment. I think calling someone up from NXT, another person from NXT, will go down well. Maybe after Mania.
I know they actually don't need the Absolution team to flourish. But why not the Iconic duo? I mean, I think they're brilliant. But
there could be. There's loads of girls in NXT that can do the job.
There is. But anyway, 8-women tag team match. Once we come to the end of it, fruition, the team of Bayley, Mickie James, Sasha Banks, and Asuka win. But the more shocking thing at the end is that Asuka, no prisoners. She absolutely wipes out her team and is the last woman standing in the middle of the ring. Do you think that is a preview of this Sunday?
Yeah. And this is the thing I think a lot of people may have forgot with this week's episode of Raw, because it was a celebration show. It was a go-home show for the Royal Rumble.
It absolutely was.
You know, you sort of forget at times that the Royal Rumble is coming out, and usually the last episode before the Royal Rumble, there's always that someone's throwing someone over the top rope, and everyone else comes and jumps in the ring and throws another person out and everything like that, and it's just a big brawl in the ring. But obviously, because the two rosters are separated, you know, and there's only 8 people, the 8 people that are in the Raw match in that ring, can't really do much with that. If there was 16 on the other hand, it would have looked better.
With the size of the men's rosters on each show, you can still sort of do that big brawl thing. But with the women, because their rosters are, I mean, even with all the women entered into the Rumble for this Sunday, with the 30 women Rumble, I think there's only like 16, 17 women all in all. So there's going to be a lot of surprises, a lot of shocks, a lot of returns, a lot of legends maybe this Sunday. I think we both originally thought it would be a 20 women Rumble, just like the very first men's was back in 93? 88, sorry, with Hacksaw Jim Duggan went in. So, and 93 was when Ric Flair went, wasn't it?
No, 92 was Ric Flair.
I'll shut up now.
I'm just going to out-knowledge you this whole episode.
Guys, you might realise this is why Kieran's here. He's already made his worth. He's already told me exactly what is going on.
I am the Wikipedia of wrestling.
Don't say. If you say that now, people will start testing you.
They probably will.
Please test him at Dirty Mania. So yeah, Asuka last woman standing, brilliant. We move on back to. We're now actually going to the Manhattan Center for the first time, I think, properly in this broadcast.
Yeah, after the introduction of JR and Jerry Lawler.
And we get the Undertaker. Yep.
Very early on in the show.
Really early on in the show. I thought if it wasn't the McMahons, my guess on how the show would open was the Undertaker dong in making his entrance. That was how I thought the show would open. But to have him in this kind of middle kind of bit was a bit weird. Anyway, he comes up at the Manhattan Center, lights up.
Yes, lights up.
No gloves on.
Yes. Well, you say no gloves on, no hat. No,
Well, the hood and the hat they're kind of changeable.
But obviously at WrestleMania, he left his jacket and his gloves and his hat in the middle of the ring. He wasn't wearing any of them.
He was wearing different gear.
He was wearing different gear.
He was wearing the gear he wore against Shawn Michaels.
Which, it's one of Undertaker's little things. He will try and remember those little things and think...
Do you know what, again, Kieran? We need to change your name from the director of creative to the director of Wikipedia or something, because that was...
I don't know everything. But
well, I'll tell you what, though. You don't need to know everything to remember everything, because that was...
I'll take that.
I honestly, that's a great shout. Great hat tip to WrestleMania past. The segment, the promo. Sorry, the promo. So, the Undertaker as a wrestler, phenomenal. The Undertaker as a legend, phenomenal. I don't think he's ever been brilliant at promos, the whole way through his career.
The thing is with his character, his promos have always had to be dark and eerie and things like that. There's never been. You're never going to have that happy-go babyface promo, are you, from him? So.
And at one stage, you had Paul Bearer to do his talking for him.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
Like that, yeah.
Exactly, it's great impression by that. And he never had to do that. And I, the Undertaker character in general, I don't think he needs to talk much anyway.
No.
But this promo may have been one of the most confusing, misread, misled kind of start and end points promos that I can remember in recent memory. The way I was feeling at the end of that promo was, has he just retired? But it didn't seem like a very...
And I was sitting there, has he almost challenged someone to stand up?
And then we were... I mean,
this personally could be WWE just going, well, sod it, let's just do this and confuse him even more, because they probably don't even know if he's going to have a match.
It wasn't a long promo either, which made me think, okay, maybe it probably isn't like a retirement, but what... I know they want to be cryptic, and that's cool because that gets us talking. That's why we're sat here talking about this promo. They have done what they succeeded. They made us do. They've got us here talking about a very confusing promo, but not in the right way.
So basically, he said that all the people he's faced are now finished. They're gone. That doesn't mean anything. Now, the way I interpreted this promo from him was that he's faced Triple H, he's faced Shawn Michaels, he's faced Randy Orton, all those people that he's faced. That's it. It's the end. There's nothing to do with that.
Kane, Mark Henry.
So I was thinking, well, okay, maybe he's challenging someone new. Now, obviously, this year's WrestleMania rumour is that it will be Cena versus Undertaker. So, hopefully, this means that he's going to be challenging Cena at Mania, and this is actually going to happen. But he hasn't so much said Cena in name, and that he's going to be challenging in a couple of weeks.
This is some
random Raw.
100%. This is something that I think we'll obviously end up picking up as the weeks and months progress. But if it's not John Cena, it generally intrigues me to who. But I think you're right.
I don't think it's a retirement, because I don't think there's not much fanfare. Usually when it's a retirement and someone announces their retirement, Bryan, Edge, it was definitely not a retirement. But
no, it wasn't. No.
You know, you could almost read into it that it could be.
Again, it's something that
he could come back full time. He could wrestle week to week.
I doubt that.
yeah. But that's what the promo was confusing.
It was confusing, and but yeah, I like that. I don't think he's going to face anyone else from WrestleMania past, because let's be honest, he has done that quite a lot of regular the year. Apart from Bray Wyatt, okay, Shane McMahon was a surprise, but to have go back to having a match with John Cena,
which is
there's no one else for him to wrestle.
We've always said that the measuring stick for Taker at Mania should be Cena, because he never faced Austin, he never faced The Rock at WrestleMania, and they're your two biggest superstars of all time. You know, he could have faced Hogan at one point if the stars aligned, and he didn't. So when you're facing Cena,
he
faced Ric Flair though. So
he did face Ric Flair. But anyway, that is something that we're gonna obviously again come back to as time goes on. Anyway, next one on Monday Night Raw, we have the Intercontinental Championship match. Roman Reigns defending against The Miz. Going into this, I was thinking not only about if Rome, nobody, to my knowledge, now please anyone out there, again, get us a Dirt Sheet Mania, Facebook or Twitter. I don't think anyone holding a title, Intercontinental, lower card, tag, Intercontinental, European, hardcore, anything, has ever won the Royal Rumble.
Not that I can think of.
I don't think anyone wins. It doesn't matter who. Pick anyone out from the many years the Rumble's been going on for. Nobody's ever won the Rumble with a title. So Roman Reigns going into this match, I was thinking, I would love Miz to win straight up, but if Roman wins, and I don't think he'll win the Rumble, if Miz wins, then I think there's a real possibility of Roman Reigns going down that road again of winning the Royal Rumble.
In Philly again. In Philly again,
where he got that absolutely... I don't know really how to describe that reaction he got, but anyway.
He got booed quite a bit.
Quite a bit. What I thought was a very good match.
Roman Reigns can't wrestle, Greg. Nor can Miz.
Can he not?
No.
Oh, they can't wrestle?
No, they can't.
Oh, because... No. Oh, really?
No.
Oh, because I don't know why I watched them, but I thought they put on a very good wrestling match.
Exactly. And it was a great wrestling match.
It was.
Miz has been superb for last year and a half. Ever since the brand split, maybe even before that as well, he's shown that he can be.
I think we can probably home in the time when Miz started getting good again. I don't mean good, but I mean sort of in the sense of he's become more relevant and he's had that rocket since Maurice returned. Now I know she's had to go off again because she's having a baby, but she was on. Was she on Raw?
Yeah,
she was on Raw.
Yeah, she popped up on Raw.
The second that she has given birth, and the second that everything is well, I have no doubt she'll be back on television.
Yeah,
as long as they can find. Good luck having a manageable child care plan.
Yeah, you could just imagine Maurice with a pushchair at ringside, can you?
Not that they should, but I would love that.
Yeah,
not that they won't.
And the baby to have the Intercontinental Championship next to it.
Who has more hair, Paul Heyman or the Mrs. Baby?
We'll go with the Mrs. Baby.
Can you imagine if it comes up bleach blonde as well?
Yeah,
that'd be so brilliant. It's a baby girl, isn't it?
I don't know.
No,
I don't keep up with these things.
I think we'll find out. Really, really good match. The Miz hits one skull crushing finale. Roman kicks out. Roman hit a Superman punch. He didn't hit the spear, did he? I don't believe.
I don't think so. No.
I don't want to say. I don't think he did.
Usually the spear is the finish.
One thing I've noticed with Roman Reigns' spear, I have a massive issue with people constantly kicking out of people's finishes. If Roman hits that spear, more often than not, it's game over.
Yeah,
it really is game over. But when Miz hit one skull crush finale, got out of it. Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel, again, two guys that have just been superb since becoming in the Miztourage. And it's not like a Damien Sandow scenario where Sandow is the lackey, what was the lackey and the stunt double. Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel, they are the Miztourage, but they're coming out doing these great promos. And when Miz wasn't here, they were coming out to Miz's music. They are more than just his entourage. They are a tag team within the stable.
Yeah.
I see them as so much more. Than
and it's a great fit for Miz. Obviously this happened a long time ago now, but it adds an extra element to the Miz.
But them at ringside in this match, they played their parts wonderfully. And at one stage when Roman I think he was delivering the drive-by to both of them, we saw on the replay, because we didn't see it at the time, the Miz undoing the middle turnbuckle, throwing it to the side. Roman comes in for a spear. Miz ducks, bang, head hits the middle turnbuckle, feeds back into the middle of the ring, skull crushing finale, 1, 2, 3, and the Miz is your new Intercontinental. He is now an 8-time Intercontinental champion. I think Jericho's the record holder with 9.
Yeah, I believe Jericho's 9. Yeah,
and we'll get to Jericho slightly there, but I do believe that Jericho has said if anyone gets near it or gets to it, I'll come back and face them. So Jericho and Miz somewhere down the line, I'd be completely fine with that. That would be awesome. Jericho,
which one will be the babyface? Which one will be the heel?
Who cares?
Exactly.
Who gives a shit?
Exactly that.
Who cares? That'd be amazing. Yeah. Them two doing promos on each other.
And they'll probably have it on a ladder match, match or something as well, because that's just how things like that tend to happen in WWE.
I'd like that. Do you know what? If this happens at WrestleMania, Miz, Jericho, IC title, ladder match. If Jericho wins, he becomes 10-time champ. If Miz wins, then maybe Miz is obviously already an 8-time champ. He can't catch Jericho at WrestleMania.
Maybe he should just vacate it before the event, and then, just so he can begin to be a 9-time champ.
But
plenty of things have happened.
That'd be great. That'd be great. Anyway, so congratulations to the Miz becoming a new 8-time Intercontinental.
I was just say the where he took the turnbuckle off and they didn't show it on camera when it originally happened. They showed a replay of it after.
Absolutely.
WWE need to do more of that. It's obviously cheating. It's bending the rules, everything like that. But to show it after the event happened, and that just shows the sheer genius of the Miz. While something else is going on, that your eyes have been focusing on Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel, but that he uses people's what's going on there to take the turnbuckle off. I think was genius, and I think WWE need to come up with more ways to be creative like that.
So you really like that?
I really liked it. I'd say I haven't seen anything like that in a while, and matches tend to follow the same sort of formulaic things that happen in the ring, but this was different and I liked it. And obviously, we all know that Roman's going to face Lesnar at Mania.
How we get, if that happens again, we're going to do a Royal Rumble thing and stuff.
If Roman Reigns was going to lose the Intercontinental title, he needed to lose the Intercontinental in a way. He needed to use the title in a way where he got beat by shenanigans, basically.
Incredible. Basically, it was 2 guys on the outside and the middle turnbuckle, and then a finisher from the Miz. But anyway, love that. Hopefully we see more from that from WWE. Next segment we have is the Peep Show. Christian's here.
Randomly Christian's here.
Christian's on Raw.
I think he was advertised.
They did explain that Edge was filming a film?
Yeah, he was away. He can get. He's currently in Vikings. Whether he's filming that or not, I don't know. I think that's all. The latest season's almost ended.
I was going to say, I'm sure he's finished it. Yeah. I mean, like we know, Edge is in films. What was that long-running television series he was in?
Haven,
that was it. Yeah, he was in that. Maybe he's doing some more of that. Regardless, what we see in front of us is Christian doing the Peep Show. Like, didn't even have a segment going next up the Peep Show. Just all of a sudden,
just in the ring.
Christian's in the ring. Like, awesome. Hi, Christian. He introduces his guests, the WWE Raw Tag Team Champions, Seth Rollins and Jason Jordan. They come out, and I'm sure it must have only been about 60 seconds before the bar came out.
Yeah, it wasn't long. But no, Jordan was on the mic for quite a bit, wasn't he? But
he was, and he got a hell of a lot of heat.
He got the Vicky Guerrero heat.
Do you think he's in? Because that's a statement.
Yeah.
Me and Kieran have been to a number of Monday Night Raws and the odd Smackdown here and there with some friends of ours when they come to the UK. And Vicky Guerrero did cut this one promo, or tried to cut a promo. She was with Dolph at the time, I think. It's on Raw.
And John Cena was in the ring.
Long time ago. I think this was the when was it AJ that was going from room to room and they had it on the big screen?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I think that was it. Yeah.
Anyway, Vicky, the heat on Vicky. Then you think that's the same levels?
Potentially, yeah. I mean, obviously, like the audio is different when you're watching it on TV, but he didn't get put off, which is impressive for I think someone for a rookie.
Well, I think I said at the time, you can see people with less experience, with more experience, get flustered. I take Roman Reigns for example. He got flustered only a few months ago. Jason Jordan kept his composure. He's great delivery, kept that face, didn't crack. Well, I was really impressed with him on the mic. Really impressed.
I'm not going to say it's easy to do that, but I think it's easier for Jordan to do that at the moment because he's trying to act a babyface. But he's not a babyface.
Because all of his actions are heel tendencies in the way that he's, I can be...
Usually as a babyface, you're going out there to get a reaction, a good reaction, cheers from the crowd.
Yeah.
But he's being a babyface, but he's getting boos from the crowd, so that must make it easier so he can carry on doing that the babyface stuff.
I just think he's doing a great job.
Yeah, I think he's doing fantastic.
Cannot wait to see where the storyline goes in with Angle's son. Yeah. Nonetheless, the Bar then come out. Sheamus and Cesaro, fucking love the Bar. Brilliant tag team. They come out. Basically, another big brawl ensues. Christian obviously gets out of the ring because he can't take a bump. Get Christian out. The Raw Tag Team Champion to the last man standing, and off go the Bar.
Yeah, Seth Rollins took Jason Jordan out with the knee, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
By accident.
Just by an accident. Yeah. Oopsie doodles.
So this will probably lead to them some sort of breakup in the future and facing off against each other.
It's a weird team anyway.
Yeah, it's a very weird team.
It should have been Dean. Obviously, they've shoehorned it in super quick.
But obviously the rumours that they wanted to put Balor with Seth, and I'm glad they didn't, obviously, because now we've got the Balor Club. But if this is to push Jason Jordan up to the next level, teaming up with Seth Rollins, former WWE champion, I like it.
Yeah, I do too. We go back to the Manhattan Center now, and we have, again, an unannounced match, I believe, in Bray Wyatt versus Matt Hardy.
Yep.
Broken Matt Hardy. Also woken Matt Hardy. Straight away, I'm like, okay, great. We weren't told about this. I mean, again, it doesn't really matter if we're told about it or not. That's not really the point. But why now? Why do you think WWE went, we'll do it now. We're not going to wait for a pay-per-view. We're doing it now. Why do you think they did that?
I think what's going to happen... I haven't watched a lot of what happened in TNA with Broken Matt Hardy. I've seen Total Stop, Non-Stop Deletion, or whatever it was called.
Him and Jeff, the first one?
Yeah, I saw that. I think this is all leading to... these two having some sort of match like that at the Hardy compound, things like just something like that. I think the match on TV, it was a short match. It wasn't a very well done match. It did go. I think it did have an ad break in between, which is usually a sign that it's a 10-minute match at least. But I think this is coming up for something bigger between these two. Probably off screen, behind the like I said, something like Total Non-Stop Deletion. I think that'll be what is similar to. Obviously, Bray Wyatt beating Matt Hardy, I think, was a little bit of a shock. But I don't think any of these two, if they lose, it's not a big thing. I think this is a time to build this woken character up from that and to make Bray Wyatt into something else as well.
Again, from what we understand, after this match happened, just for the crowd, once we went to break, I think we went back to the Barclays Center.
Yeah,
Jeff Hardy came out.
Yeah.
Which then like if you're one of these people that goes on social media all the time and you're checking out what's going on, which we were at the time, you think, oh, Jeff Hardy's there, that's cool. Next segment, well, nearly the next segment, Jeff Hardy's backstage at the Barclays Center playing poker with the APA. So, it's obviously taped. Don't make it that obvious. Like, come on. I don't know. I don't know. It bothers me that it does, and I don't know why it bothers me so much. I just think you just not in today's modern era with social media, with taping. You just kind of just want to avoid that scenario. Either way, strange to have that match now. Like you say, they're trying to build the feud. I can see gimmick matches.
At least keep it off to the Rumble. Even if this took place from the Rumble kickoff show,
I'd hate that still.
But I wouldn't hate it as much as it was on Raw. To me, this should be a bigger match, a bigger show.
And it wasn't long. It wasn't even that. It wasn't. I mean, like you said, I hope this is.
It was never going to set the world alight. I think the two styles they don't gel well with each other in terms of the match. Mm-hmm. And I think at a bigger event, with a few more bells and whistles, it would have looked and felt better.
A gimmick match would suit them.
Yeah.
Whether it's, I hope they. I didn't really like what Randy and Bray did.
I don't think anyone did.
No,
the House of Horrors match.
And I hope that doesn't happen again, or a compound thing. I know that's what they did in TNA. I don't necessarily think we need that anymore. And then I know that the Wyatts then kind of mimicked that with Smackdown on WWE. A cage match, a Hell in a Cell match, build towards something. Superb last man standing match. I think that would be something like that. Really
but you have a theory when it comes to the heart to Woken Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt.
I do. Okay. Jeff is now getting involved again. Which, if that's true and if that's going to come, then my theory is not going to work. But I wanted the Great War that Matt and Bray are talking about to be them versus Raw,
everyone.
SmackDown, WWE, everyone, NXT. Matt and Bray, they are the war against everyone. Because that's not what people would imagine.
No.
They're standing in the ring laughing.
Two similar sort of characters.
From very different backgrounds.
Very different
backgrounds. But to have them, they are together. If they're going to run with Jeff coming back and saying he's going to make Bray Wyatt obsolete, then Bray's going to have to go and find another tag team partner. Really?
Hey, let's bring back the Wyatt family.
Oh, stop it.
Again.
Oh, Braun Strowman's on Raw. Yay!
Yeah.
Please don't do it. Please don't. Anyway, so we go back to Raw in the Barclays Centre, and Elias is walking all alone because he's a drifter and he has no friends. And then he sees Chris Jericho in his New Japan Wrestling t-shirt, the Alpha t-shirt. I must admit, I popped for this because we thought Jericho would be on Raw at some point. It was a backstage promo. I would have loved it to be in the ring, but he was wearing his new... Is this just proof that Chris Jericho can do what he wants when he wants?
I think so, but I don't think this doesn't get cleared without Vince or someone higher up saying so.
100%.
Look, his shirt wasn't clearly on display.
You could see what it was.
Yeah, but usually, look, Stone Cold come out of a new T-shirt and you can buy that new T-shirt on www.shop.com. Obviously, this was sort of covered up with like a scarf or a jacket or whatever he was wearing, but it wasn't fully on show. So
no, it wasn't.
Obviously, if it was on show, everyone would be like, well, where can I get that T-shirt from? Obviously, if they don't watch New Japan and see what's been going on, they're going to say, where can I get it from? But it was covered up enough to sort of...
Kenny Omega's going to be in the Rumble. What? Kenny Omega's going to be in the Rumble.
No.
He just signed a new contract.
He's not going
to be in the Rumble.
If he's in the Rumble, I will lick your left nipple.
Biggest thing I thought when that match happened between Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho was that the rematch would be at WrestleMania. That's why Vince allowed a New Japan t-shirt on television.
You're getting a bit too creative now. If that happens, it happens.
I don't, guys. This is why we're here. Thursday Mania is here because we like to believe fantasy bookings.
Yeah.
Dustin Thunder.
WrestleMania will be far too jam packed to add all these potential matches in.
It would be. Again, we're just shooting the breeze here, boys and girls. Anyway, Elias and Chris Jericho had a really nice little segment. Jericho hit all of his top stuff. Got the list out again. Massive pop for the list. Told him he wasn't going to be on the list. Then he put him on the list. Brilliant. Love that from Jericho. Anyway, Elias, he bowls off to the ring because he's got a message for John Cena. We cut to break, we come back. Elias is in the ring. Who wants to walk with Elias? Again, everybody in the entire arena going, who wanna walk with Elias? They all join in.
Never expected this when the Drifter got banished from NXT. And then he comes on to Raw, and look how over he is now.
When he came to Raw, he just wandered around, didn't really do anything. I remember that when he did show up, everyone was like, oh, I guess Elias is on Raw. That was it. That was it. And now, like, is it me or is he getting big?
I think he was always quite built anyway.
He looks
quite tall. He's quite tall anyway. I think he's quite built.
Wrestlers are a lot taller than we think. Yeah. Television does not do them justice.
It doesn't. But I think he's always been now. If you look from his NXT days, he looks all right.
Yeah, no, he looks great. Yeah. But again, super great promo. Cena comes out, points to Jimmy Fallon at ringside.
Yeah.
Now, if you're wondering who Jimmy Fallon is and what Jimmy Fallon's doing there, he hosts the Late Show or the Late Late Show. Jimmy Fallon Tonight. That's what he does.
It could be any one of those number of things.
Could be any one of them.
It could be Friday night with Jimmy Fallon, for all I know.
It is a nightly television show in America, prime time.
I don't think it's prime time. I think it's like 11 p.m.
10 to 11.
Probably something stupid like that. I think it's quite late.
Yeah, it's quite late.
As you can tell, in the UK, we don't really have that much over here.
No.
I mean, I don't think we can compare Jimmy Fallon to Michael Parkinson.
Jonathan Ross.
Yeah. But
Parky's a legend, man.
Yeah, Parky's not the same.
It's not the 90s anymore. Parky was a legend in the 90s.
Parky was a legend in the 90s.
He just watches cricket now.
Yeah, he does.
Bless him. Too right.
And sells over 65 pensions.
Does he live in Marlow? Do you get a free pen with that?
I think you do.
Does he live in Marlow?
Probably does.
It's not far from
a lot of people do.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Marlow's great though.
Yeah.
It's very expensive.
Big up Marlow.
Big up the Marlow Massive. Sure we got many followers from Marlow. So Jimmy Fallon, we should explain. He was on the new show, The New Day, and Stephanie and Triple H went on, did a lip sync battle. Hit many, many millions of views on YouTube. Great promotion from the WWE. And
Triple H was fantastic.
He was phenomenal. He was very good. And then Jimmy Fallon just sat at ringside. Didn't even sit at ringside. Just sat on the first row.
Yep.
You've read some bits and bobs.
There's a news story out today that on Wednesday. This is when we're recording it on a Wednesday. That there was a lot of rewrites done because Jimmy Fallon could only get there for the second half of the show,
because of his show.
Because of his show and things like that. So there was a lot of rewrites done with that to do with the general manager's segment and things like that. Look, if that's the case, that's the case. But to rewrite a show because of a celebrity not being there, I don't know if I like that so much. But
I particularly don't.
No.
Don't get me wrong.
But
I like
it's good.
Fallon.
It's good for having him there because obviously he's a big celebrity out in America. People know who he is, so it's good for WWE. But not so much this.
Eventually back in the ring, Elias low blows John Cena, and then he beats them up, hits a guitar over his back. Obviously, we'd like to beat his head, but can't do that anymore. You've got to be safe. Fair enough. Can't remember anyone having a guitar since Jeff Jarrett, so it's nice for that to kind of...
Yeah, he's used the guitar a few times before.
But it's nice to see the prop be reinvented. Well, reinvented, but re-brought around. Jeff Jarrett didn't play the guitar.
No.
Elias is playing the guitar.
Yeah. Well, he can play it well enough.
he play it, but for what he's doing, it's perfect.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
Really good segment, and the way I saw the whole thing there with Elias, he's had a rub with Chris Jericho, he's had a rub with Jimmy Fallon, and he's had a rub with John Cena. There is a rocket strapped to Elias's backside. Now, you think this was supposed to be for Samoa Joe?
Yeah, I think so.
I think that's
Joe was rumoured to face Cena leading up to Mania. Mm-hmm. Possibly it could have been a Joe Cena match at Mania, but it seems to be going with Cena Undertaker.
As disappointed as I was when Joe got injured, I think that Elias is taking this opportunity.
Yeah, and it's what you got to do. They say it's a cutthroat world in the world of WWE. If you get an opportunity,
wrestling in general,
you got to take it. You got to take the opportunity, and this is this will be good for Elias. Just hope after the whole Cena feud, he goes into something and maintains that same level.
That level.
Maybe an Intercontinental title match, or gets moved to Smackdown to go for the US title.
I think now is a really good time for him to have a title. I think it is. Obviously, The Miz is killing it on Raw. US champion on SmackDown, I think is a great shout. I think it really is after WrestleMania. I don't know if there's going to be another shake-up.
Yeah. Potential
Maybe.
tag team with Aiden English.
So we should say, Kieran, a long time ago, before Rusev Day came up on SmackDown, you wanted Elias and Rusev. Elias
so
and
both
Aiden English.
doing similar things at the time.
They'd be the closest thing to 3MB.
Yeah.
To an actual band.
Yeah.
Anyway,
actual band.
that I would love that. Did you tweet them?
I don't know.
I think you did.
I tweet a lot of things.
You do. Backstage, we go to the APA's office. Now, guys, we should say that this was kind of a segment they came back to, I think, 3 times, maybe 4 times during the night. We're literally just picking up at the finals time we were joining them. So go back and watch Monday Night Raw if you really want to and see all the segments. But in that little circle that they're all playing poker, this is the list of people that they have. Just remember, Randy Orton wasn't wanted on this show. Here is who's at this
Neither
table.
was Lita. And
don't get me started.
Don't
get me started. We had when the Raw general managers all came out. That was cool. Really liked that.
Whereas Mike Adamle.
Don't. Then you had all the women's champions come out. That was cool. Why did Bryan come out? Was that former WWE champions?
No, that was in the GM. It was a special guest. He was the GM of SmackDown.
Yeah, he is the GM of SmackDown.
Yeah.
Was the GM of SmackDown. There's no spoilers.
He is the GM of SmackDown.
And then the women, but no Lita.
Yeah.
Very confusing.
Very weird.
And yet these guys were here.
Yeah.
So we had it was the APA, MVP, the Usos from SmackDown, Jeff Hardy, who is at 2 places at once, Natalya, who is from SmackDown as well, the $1 Million Man, which was nice to see. No problem with that at all.
No.
And we had MVP. Loved MVP. He looked sharp.
You said MVP twice.
Have I said MVP twice?
But he is an MVP, so he gets to make mention. Highest contracted wrestler in SmackDown history or something. Best paid, something like that.
I'd say so.
Yeah.
I wouldn't pay.
But yeah, he's looking older, but he's looking sharp.
He looked very sharp. I'd love to have him again. Do you know what? Put him with Titus Worldwide.
Yeah.
Be great.
He would be the MVP of Titus Worldwide.
After an argument, and then obviously you had Slater, Rhino, and Titus Worldwide there as well. After an argument between Slater and Dana Brooke saying that you cheated, they said no, we're facing you in the ring. So Rhino and Heath went to the ring to face Titus Worldwide after break. Match ended in no contest because out come the Dudley Boys. Bubba and Devon are down after, even though Bubba said he was retired.
Yeah. I think Bubba's still contracted to Ring of Honor, right? I believe he's...
Is he?
I think he is, because he put a tweet up about saying wants to thank Ring of Honor for letting me come to WWE. For one night. Obviously,
Yeah.
Devon's backstage as a rogue agent now.
Devon's an agent. We've seen Devon in more of these Braun, Kane and segments when he's like, oh, someone's get beat up, and Devon's the first one on the scene. I think he was the first one on the scene when Daniel Bryan got beat up by Kane.
Yeah,
he was him and Finlay as well.
Yeah.
But
yeah, they come out, done all the WhatsApp and then the 3D and the Dudley Death Drop and everything else.
So he got high.
Yeah.
So, Heath went very high on that 3D.
A general pop for the crowd. Nothing special, but
it was in. This is what I mean. This was in the ring.
Yeah.
This is what we wanted to see. This is Austin McMahon in the ring. Dudley's in the ring.
Yeah.
More of the in the ring things in front of the people doing the nice wrestlings. It's not difficult. Anyway, we go back to the Manhattan Center. We have Kieran's yawning because this is such a long fall. We get Manhattan Center. Triple H and Shawn Michaels come out. Are you ready? We are not alone. Okay, so they said we are not alone, despite the WWE showing a graphic of the entirety of D-Generation X all night. We're not alone. We know you're not alone. We've seen the sodding graphic.
Yeah, we've seen who's advertised.
We know who's coming.
I mean, the only one I'd say I sort of semi-surprised was with the Razor Ramon thing, because obviously Scott Hall not being in D-Generation X. Obviously, we know he's part of the clique, and they called him out.
Well, yeah, he's part of the close friendship group. Obviously, Kevin Nash is as well. He wasn't there.
He couldn't get into a plane because of some knee surgery or something like that.
Another one.
Yeah,
and obviously, then going towards the NWO side of things, obviously, Mr. Hogan is. Yeah, I think they're kind of slowly repairing the relationship, but
slowly. Yeah.
You know, it's a bit like the CM Punk, because CM Punk was obviously put in the opening in that 3-minute video.
Yeah.
And that, again, I think you even said... John, actually, you tell the people what you thought about that.
I just think he's been put in there just to slowly mend fences. Like, it's not... Punk's probably never going to come back.
Oh, no, he will. I think it could be years, but he will.
But this is the start. Just to say, look, we know you're a part of our history.
We don't want to ignore you.
We don't want to.
You don't deserve to be ignored.
He still is the longest reigning WWE champion of all time.
Somebody else that didn't ignore was... No, absolutely. Somebody else that did... the modern day.
Yeah, the modern day.
Someone else they also didn't ignore more than once on tonight was Chyna.
Yeah.
Which I thought was nice.
Yeah.
She deserves it,
She was a big part of it.
Huge part.
I think she was ignored last time, wasn't she, at Raw 1000 when they come back together.
Yeah, and I know she was with us then.
Yeah.
She's not now, and I know you should never really leave it too late, but I'm really glad that they are, because I know she did some things after WWE and the whole her Triple H stuff thing. It's just think of the wrestling. She was such a huge part for not only for women, but for D-Generation X. So huge fair play to them. They actually got to put her in there. Out come the Balor Club. Ooh. What did you think? Fisticuffs?
So at this point, I was getting ready to go to sleep because
I left.
You left.
I watched the rest of this in the morning. I was knackered.
I was getting tired because it was a slow show after the in the Continental title match.
It bummed hard.
I was expecting, a Balor Club's coming out. Usually in this thing, these situations, it'll be, okay, so DX are just gonna take out the Balor Club, because while Finn Balor's not a heel yet, he's probably leaning more towards that side of things.
Do you think they're trying to, with the Balor Club in general, do you think they're trying to make them in this we're bad, but it's cool. Yeah. We're gonna cool
like the NWO, like the Bullet Club, like
D-Generation X, like Stone Cold, Steve Austin.
And look, the rub was there. The Too Sweet moment was cool.
That was sweet. That was too sweet.
It was too sweet. It was good to see that, because that's like a passing of the torch on screen now. That's
literally on screen. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what the Young Bucks are going to feel about it. Cease and desist, but.
That's a non-WWE issue.
Yeah.
Well, it's a WWE issue, but they're non-WWE wrestlers, so unfortunately they just have to sort of.
Yeah, but I'm sure.
But they're one sweeting now. Do you know that?
Are they?
They do the two sweet with the index finger, and you touch the index fingers.
All right. Okay.
One sweet.
All right. Cool.
Why not?
Penny sweet or?
Penny sweets cost 10p now.
Yeah, probably do. And then the Revival come out, and I love the Revival. They're top guys. Right?
No flips, just fists.
Yeah, exactly. And NXT, absolutely superb. Matches of the year constantly with Ciampa and Gargano and the AOP. It just loads. Like they were that good. it's been crap that they've had injuries since they got called up.
Literally, as far as people, and the thing is though, when I think it's just one at a time, isn't it? One's been injured. One had the locked jaw problem. That was like 8 weeks. Then did one have an ACL?
I think
or a knee injury.
Yeah,
but there was the other one.
Yeah.
Dash was injured. Then Dawson was injured. So instead of having the other one wrestle, they just had both of them off telly. So one of them's been completely fine. I don't 100% know if they've been on house shows, but where one's been off television, the other's been off television. So really, since they come onto Raw, they only really had like 4 weeks.
Yeah, but they had a great promo last week saying that they were wrestlers, they were professional wrestlers.
They did.
They were old school, and I loved it. And then this week they come into the ring and have a very, very short match against Gallows and Anderson,
who have been booked very 50-50. And what I mean by that is they win half their matches, they lose half their matches. I like Gallows and Anderson. When they came in, it was hot because, these guys are from Japan. We knew who Gallows was. We didn't know who Anderson was. He was a new guy in WWE. This was really, really cool. And they were kind of then booked 50-50. Great. I'm glad they're giving them wins. They need to give them wins. They gave them a big winner the other week on Raw in the main event. But like you say, it was a super quick match. The match itself wasn't relevant. It was the bit after. That's what they were building towards. The match itself wasn't important. It was everybody getting in their finishes afterwards. Super kicks, pedigrees, Road Dogs punches, Billy Gunn's Famous, X-Pucks, X Factor. That's what they were building towards.
You could say this almost gives them a little rub because obviously they're in the ring with legends. But but I just.
Do you remember Heath Slater?
Yeah.
He was at Raw 1000.
Yeah.
He in the coming weeks before that, he wrestled legends, and then he got beat up at all of them at Raw 1000. This was
it's similar to this, but this gave me the feeling of what happened to the Ascension when
but the Ascension again. We can't get into this too much because I know we've been talking for a while anyway. But the Ascension issue was a completely different problem. The Ascension were made to look like the LOD. And they didn't look like that in NXT.
No,
they were literally. If the Ascension weren't in NXT at that time, there would have been no tag division.
No,
they defended in the first NXT takeover. They defended their titles against Too Freaking Cool. That was the only team they could.
You mean Too Cool, not Too Freaking Cool?
That was the only team they could muster from the annals of history to wrestle them, and then they just destroyed them. They're doing well now in a completely different mindset, but they are doing well.
But I just think that it almost just reminded me of that, and I hope next week on Raw they can get back to, just have tag team matches against Titus Worldwide, against the Bar, anyone. I don't care. Just give them matches because that's what they're wrestlers.
I agree.
Let them wrestle, build them up, give them the tag titles in a couple of months.
We move on to our main event spot. Not a match. Not a match in our main event spot. Braun Strowman, Kane, and Brock Lesnar setting up for the Universal Championship match this Sunday at the Royal Rumble. The main premise of this was Kane and Braun were beating the crap out of each other. The locker room emptied. Now, when I say the locker room emptied, it was a really weird.
Well, they come out. They come out first, didn't they? Kurt Angle's music played, and Kurt Angle led everyone around the ring, and by everyone was everyone, like Bruce Pritchard was,
Christian
Eric
was
Bischoff was around the ring. I'm like, okay, maybe they're just doing like a little roll call here, just say wave to the crowd, thanks for coming, everything like that.
Oh, they thought they were going to leave,
and then maybe going to leave.
Yeah,
but they were basically used as security guards. Like it's been done before. This whole like with Braun Strowman around and Brock Lesnar, they've used wrestlers as like shields to stop them. Goldberg Lesnar last year.
Goldberg Lesnar was a big one. Because I like the whole bring the security out, security get beat up, then bring the wrestlers out, have them run to the ring. You've got people there like Farouk, who's a legend, an older gentleman now. JBL, who can't wrestle anymore.
Yeah, because he's done his back in.
Christian is there.
Yeah,
Christian can't take one more bump again. If he does, he might be concussed.
Yeah,
you can't. Why are
they there?
Having older gentlemen and retired wrestlers. I know JBL's like a massive individual. He's huge in regards to his size, as is Farouk. But to have them at ringside, I'd rather have all the younger ones.
But why? Why if they're not going to be in the ring, why are they there? Why are they? Are they there just for a closer seat?
They didn't get in the ring, did they?
No, they didn't get in the ring. But are they just there to watch it close up to go, this is going to be massive.
I mean, I don't think they need to legitimise it.
I think they just wanted to get them all out, play Kurt Angle's music once, because Kurt didn't really have much to do all night.
We should say he had that very weird backstage promo at the beginning of the show where you had him, Teddy Long, the Boogeyman,
the coach,
I see coach, looks good.
Yeah.
You had a few misfits in that segment. But that's all really Kurt done all night, to be honest. He hadn't do much.
But, in some ways, you think Kurt was the general manager of Raw. He's probably not really needed so much on that show when you'll know that kayfabe-wise, Vince and Steph and Shane are probably going to be in charge of it, bringing back all these wrestlers and celebrating Monday Night Raw and everything like that.
But nonetheless, they brawled, and then Heyman come out, and the brawling stopped, and then the second lesson music hit. Everyone left.
Yep. Again, why were they all on the outside?
Everyone left, and they stayed.
Yeah.
They watched. They didn't bother to do anything.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. That really does not that you need to, but it really does again put over that extra little bit that Brock Lesnar is Brock Lesnar. Yeah. And if you want to get in Brock Lesnar's way with Kane and Braun in the ring already, then best wishes to you. But so the second Lesnar came down, they all legged it. Massive brawl ensues between a lot of them. F5 to Kane. Braun then puts Brock Lesnar through the announce table at ringside, and we are left on the 25th anniversary of Monday Night Raw with Braun Strowman in the ring, and people are loving it. He is so...
Who doesn't love Braun?
Freaking over. Kieran, I need Braun Strowman to win this match at Sunday. I need him to win.
Yeah, I want him to, but it's not going to happen.
And I'm saying this now, and we'll do a Rumble prediction show, so we're going to do that later on, so listen to that as well if you want to hear who me and Kieran think are going to win. But ladies and gentlemen, that is Monday Night Raw. Stay tuned, because we've got Smackdown coming up next. And we're back here at WWE Mania. This is our Smackdown review. Kieran, first thoughts on Smackdown, just quickly?
It was better than Raw. And I think every week I prefer watching SmackDown because it's shorter, the 2-hour format. I think I naturally go to watch SmackDown. I prefer SmackDown more than Raw. I think it was SmackDown was definitely better than last week's SmackDown.
I know we don't want to get in the habit of going over old ground, especially when it's obviously wrestling is a week-to-week thing. But last week's SmackDown looked like a rerun, rewritten botch job. It was not. It was chopped around, but
it's like an episode of WCW Thunder in 2000.
Oh, and next we're coming up with it's the cheerleaders. Yeah, okay.
Nitro Girls.
Nitro, same thing.
No, it's not.
Here's Queen Charmel. She was one of them.
She was well done. Shawn Michaels' missus, another one.
Was she?
Well. Yep.
Oh.
Can't remember her name.
Nah. No, I've always been drawn towards the blue side. Even back in 04, 05 when they had the first one, I really liked SmackDown. And yeah, I think it has the best show. But again, we'll get through SmackDown this week. We open with Sami and Kevin doing a promo in the ring, and they have actually said it now. We thought it was a rumor. We weren't sure if Kevin and Sami, or as AJ Styles calls them, Cammy, and we're not talking about Cammy from Soccer Saturday.
Unbelievable, Jeff.
Every time AJ says Cammy,
we should just go unbelievable, Jeff.
Yeah, I can't stop thinking about Cammy now. Chris Kamara is his full name.
Yeah.
By the way, they will be co-champions. If AJ loses at the Rumble, we will have WWE champions.
I don't think this will happen, but I'd like to see it happen. Just because we've had scenarios in the past where people have been, oh look, Shawn Michaels has returned. He was IC champion, but Razor Ramon is IC champion. Let's have a unification match. Yeah. Oh look, John Cena is the WWE champion, but wait, CM Punk has returned as WWE champion. So we've had 2 WWE champions, Intercontinental champions, etc. But we've never had apart from the Intercontinental co-champions when Chris Jericho and China were co-champions. And obviously Michelle McCool and Layla.
Yeah, they
were co-women's champions.
They even split the belt in half, didn't they?
God, I hope them don't do that. I'll be all for if they were co-WWE champions, for them to change the title belt up a little bit more to maybe include a blue belt for SmackDown or something like that.
Yeah, I would.
But,
I'd be okay with that.
I hope it doesn't happen.
But regardless, co-WWE champions.
Will they get a bigger strap to put around the both of them while they walk hand in hand?
They're going to need a bigger one for Kevin.
Yeah, they probably do, but,
Regardless, If it happens, it's different. It's new. I commend them on thinking of different things. Will it happen? I don't think it will. Really looking forward to this because I think all three are superb wrestlers.
Yeah.
All of them are great.
I hope Kevin. Well, obviously, there's rumours that Kevin Owens is injured and he's hurt his back, and obviously you'll see probably why he might be injured and later on in the show.
Yeah.
But I hope that he's well enough to go. To really go, because it could be a spectacular match on Sunday.
Don't be fooled, guys. Just because you think, Kevin Owens, he's a bit bigger than the rest. My God, this guy can go. Yeah. Do not let that put you off. He can move. He can fly. He can wrestle. He's superb. He's been one of my favourites for a long, long time. So when he came to WWE, I was literally delighted. It was very good. Out comes AJ Styles. Basically, just you guys. I don't care what you want to do, Cammy. I don't care. I'm going to take you on Sunday and I'm going to win. Then I don't think Brian come out now, or does Brian come out?
No, Sammy got on the mic and he basically showed footage back of.
I've got it in capital letters here because they go footage.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
made me laugh.
It's the typical heel behaviour these days. Is that they can be funny. They can be funny, but not like serious heels. Okay. They can just take the piss a bit.
I tell you what, why we're talking about heels being funny and taking the piss, but still being heels. I had a point I was going to bring up later on, and it was about Sami Zayn. Now he's a heel, okay. Do you think he needs to stop doing these things, like when he's almost like holding hands, like a knuckle lock, and he runs towards the ropes, he jumps up the ropes, jumps off another one, then does a spinning DDT? Do you think Sami as a heel needs to stop doing that?
No.
Why?
I get why, and the top rope moves, high flying moves,
especially from where I've been and what I've done. Like
high flying moves tend to be babyface moves.
Like Neville when he used to do his Red Arrow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he didn't do it so much when he was a heel.
No,
he'd only bring it out in certain situations.
And when he did it really slowly. Yeah. Facials.
I think you keep Sami the way he is. I think I'd maybe change his music up a little bit just to keep it the same sort of song, but maybe make it a bit more heelish, a bit more rocky, a bit more edgy.
One of those, like, remember when Cody Rhodes went heel, and it went
like a bit slower, a bit edgier, a bit more rockier. I think maybe that needs to change a little bit, but I think him just being a cocky, arrogant, still happy, but that's because that's what his character is. He feels like he's had a weight taken off his shoulders, and when you have that weight taken off your shoulders, you feel like you can be a bit more free and jump around and dance and be happier.
I agree.
So I don't think they need to change it at all.
Brian comes out. We should say that Sami and Kevin show the footage of, basically AJ getting himself into trouble basically by saying, I can take these two on a handicap match. Brian makes the match. They show in that little replay from a couple of weeks ago. Then Brian comes out again, or this time, Brian does come out in this segment, and they say, actually, we have some more footage of AJ, and AJ says, I could take them both on in the same night at different times.
Yep.
Brian then says, well, funny you should say that. AJ cuts him off and says, wait a minute, Brian, before you say this, and I think you're in cahoots, is Brian in cahoots with Sami and Kevin?
Who knows? This is what's intriguing about it. Look, there's a lot of rumours out there at the moment that Brian potentially could be in the Rumble. We don't know if he's cleared. We don't, I'm
going to say no. My guess, no.
No, I don't think so either. But I'd love to see it. I'm sure everyone would love to see it. This storyline seems to be playing on the fact that we want Brian to come back. We want him to wrestle. We want him to.
But he's acting like a dickhead.
But this.
It's testing people's loyalty.
Yeah.
He is still loved. He comes out there.
People will still chant yes.
But he is going down that route of siding with Kevin and Sami.
Yeah.
On every decision. And it's become bigger. This is what I love about crossed over storylines. It's Kevin and Sami getting back together and fighting with Shane. Then the WWE title gets involved in it. Then Brian tries to get involved to be the voice of reason, but then he kind of turns heel. Shane kind of turns babyface. Sami and Kevin are all they are. And AJ's just kind of stuck in the middle with the WWE title. it's really 3 different storylines. It's Kevin and Sammy versus Shane. It's Shane versus Brian, and it's Sammy and Kevin versus AJ. It's brilliant. I love it. That's why for me SmackDown for now.
Yeah, I mean
is
this
the best show.
obviously storyline's been playing out since July last year, SummerSlam, before SummerSlam.
Shane was the ref.
Yeah, Shane was a special guest referee. The US title matches is now gone on to the WWE title.
That's what I mean. It's the natural progression of this.
You know, this storyline will probably still go on past Mania. Like, you know, whatever the Mania match involving these 3 will be.
That's the payoff for me. Whatever happens.
But obviously there could be repercussions on what happens
if Brian
from that Mania
If Brian
match.
does side with them, or let's speculate, because that's what we're here to do, if he does wrestle, again, I don't think he will, but if he does side with Sammy and Kevin, they will then be maybe potentially more of a faction on SmackDown. But this is a while. But anyway, AJ cuts off Brian. He says, I'll make the match if you're fine with it. And then obviously he says, I will face Kevin Owens, and then instantly straight after, I will face Sami Zayn. We cut then to a backstage segment afterwards. Shortly after this, Shane saying to Daniel Bryan that, you know, why would you do that? Brian said he wasn't going to do that. He said, no, I'm not going to do that match. AJ wanted it. I wasn't going to do that. And Brian was about to walk away, and then he turns back and goes, actually, Shane, do you not believe in AJ Styles' ability tonight? And Shane looks straight at Brian and go, no, I believe in AJ. It's not his ability I'm questioning. And then walks off.
Yep. Just
simmering tension.
And that's it. The tension's amazing. It even sort of makes you question whether, you know, Shane could be potentially the one that turns heel or that. There's a lot of different ways.
There's a lot of different ways this can go.
This can go any way, and this is storytelling done right in WWE. Sometimes it can be too obvious, but the obvious storyline does work.
So the Daniel Bryan one, we'll go back to a few years ago when he won the title at 30. That was a long, slow built storyline that went in and out of the Wyatts.
Yeah,
was he in and out of not being in Rumbles, in and out of winning the title, then losing it straight away to Randy, and it built and built and built and built and built, and then he won the title at WrestleMania 30, and it was the best. I remember watching that with you and the boys, and it was amazing. This, to me, has more elements to it. There's more little bits going on. And if you know, this thing, when you think of that, but then what about this? Then what about Kevin? Then what about AJ? Then what about Shane? Then what about Brian? There's more.
We can all speculate, and that's what, and I think that's what the beauty of it is that we're speculating. What the hell does this mean right now for SmackDown? You know, what the hell does it mean for a potential SmackDown Royal Rumble winner? Because obviously, then they'll be involved in this whole thing. If there's tension between the commissioner and the general manager and AJ Styles and Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, a potential SmackDown Royal Rumble winner will be involved in that match.
Shinsuke Nakamura.
Randy Orton.
You
know,
John Cena could win.
John Cena.
Mm-hmm.
It could be anyone. You know,
it literally could be anyone.
But and this is branching storylines, and that's what's good. And that's what's good about SmackDown. I think if this took place on Raw, I think it would feel a lot more dragged out. At times on SmackDown, it has felt a little dragged out, but they seem to bring it back round just with little backstage segments, just to say, look, this is why we're doing it. This is the tension. There's something here.
For me, where it keeps getting more and more interesting is these, and I'm telling you, they're like 90 seconds long. These little interactions between Brian and Shane. When Shane came back through the curtain last week, Brian was in Gorilla. Little chat, literally 90 seconds, no longer. Then last night, again, same thing. In the office, quick little chat, and just as it gets just as it gets tense, just as it gets really, really tense, one of them leaves.
Yeah.
And normally it's Shane.
Normally
it's Shane. Shane will say something then leave. Brian will stand there. Brian's not the kind of man. I don't think Shane is either, but the way it's going, it's very interesting.
Shane's the hot-headed one, and that's
100%.
You can see this potentially Shane just punching Brian one day, just out in the middle of the ring.
Brian ain't gonna take that.
And you can see probably Brian just sitting there, just going, trying not to get angry just about it, because almost. you know he technically can't get involved, and everyone's gonna be willing him to get
since he took that kind of mini little kind of, I want to call it a bump when he got pushed.
Yeah, it wasn't so much a bump.
It wasn't. But that is the first physical contact he has had since retiring, and that again, that's just gonna make people interested. If he never wrestles, and this has all been a bit of smoke and mirrors, they've done a great job.
Yeah.
They've really done a great job.
If Brian does come back to wrestle, he won't be a full-time wrestler.
Oh, no.
It'll be WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series, that sort of big four.
He can still be I think he can still be commissioner and wrestle.
Yeah.
I'd be alright with that. Yeah. But they might replace it and, again, move storylines along. Nonetheless. Especially if he goes with Sami and Kevin, he doesn't have to wrestle.
He doesn't have to.
Because they can wrestle.
Yeah.
We move on to Chad Gable versus Jey Uso. I've just written here for my first notes, I love Gable.
I love Gable.
I think he's...
I love the Usos. I love the 2 out of 3 Falls matches that they're going to have a Royal Rumble.
It's going to be so good.
I'll tell you right now, there's a match of the night.
Will be match of the night. There's a lot of good matches this Sunday.
Yeah, there is.
But for me, I completely agree. I was gonna ask you. I know you're probably thinking, God, this has gone on for a while, guys. But do you think it was a good idea to put Chad Gable straight back into a tag team?
At the time, no. But when it was Shelton Benjamin, I was like, this could potentially work. I thought they'd be a babyface tag team.
Well, they were.
I think
kind of at first.
But they've gone down this heel route. Gable's got a charisma, and this is the thing. Back in NXT, Gable was paired with Jordan because Jordan had all the athleticism, all that, the wrestling skills down to a T, but he just couldn't talk. Gable come in because he had the charisma, and he was there to take that tag team or take the tag team to a next level.
The unit.
Shelton Benjamin potentially is probably he should have been a WWE champion, but he never.
Think so?
I think he was that good.
Really?
I just don't think he had the charisma,
Interesting.
the speech, the being able to talk on the microphone.
When
to take him to that next level.
When you're given a gimmick of your mama, you know it's not going well.
Yeah, but he could have been a WWE champion. He was in that OVW class that got drafted with Cena, Batista, Orton and Lesnar.
Yeah, that is him and Brock Lesnar were OVW tag team champions.
And I think they even said that like Shelton Benjamin was probably the best of the lot in terms of wrestling.
Pure athlete, wrestler.
Shelton Benjamin brings that experience to Chad Gable, and that experience, all those little things that you can tell and add to his game, add to his arsenal, will help Chad Gable, and Chad Gable will become something big. Not Brian Big, but he'll get there. He'll be...
You don't?
I think he'll be upper mid-card.
I would love to see Chad Gable in the future, maybe 2-3 years in the future, as a not just US or Intercontinental champion, but someone like what Miz is doing now. He's closing shows. Yeah. He's main event in house shows. That could be Chad Gable as an champion.
He could be Kurt Angle 2.0.
Yeah. Well, again, the storyline with Jordan could be a red herring, because I think, again, we're going to really chop over stuff over the next few months and weeks. But I actually think that Chad Gable thing is that it will come out that Gable is Kurt's son.
Probably.
And that Jordan stole the piece of paper, audited it, and it made it look like he was, but it's actually Gable. But that would talk about that elevation, and that could be 18 months into the future. That doesn't
potentially could have a WWE versus Universal Champion or Survivor Series in the only time of year where a Raw and Smackdown match can take place.
Really? So you mean Raw and Smackdown
between Jordan and Gable? It could happen in 2 years' time, 3 years' time.
I'd love to talk about your sarcastic little comment there, but yeah, Jordan and Gable. World Heavyweight, WWE Champion versus Universal Champion, Jordan versus Gable. Yeah, you had it.
I'll take it. I'd go IC versus US Champ.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Cover the bases.
Anyway, great match. One of those. I just want to talk about a quick move that Gable did in that match. He did a jumping roll heel kick. It's not like a Pele. I'm not talking about a Pele kick where like AJ or Ballard does, where it goes over your head. He kind of jumped forward, did a flip, and as his foot comes over his head, he hit Jay on the head.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't look nice, but different.
Wrestling in the last 5 years has evolved into more punching and striking and kicking.
Strong style.
But it's strong style. And that's probably all to do with how UFC and MMA has been on the up since then. They're coming up with innovative new ways of punching, kicking, and striking. And which is good to see.
It is. No, I really liked it. Just a really good match. Really enjoyed it. And again, it moves them on very, very nicely to this Sunday, 2 out of 3 falls. I can't wait. Again, we're going to do a Raw Rumble prediction show, so please check us out. Go YouTube. I think that's going to be, isn't it?
Yeah, it'll be on YouTube. That'll probably be one of our first videos that we're putting on the YouTube page.
Super duper.
You get to see my ugly face.
And my beautiful face. We move on to women's singles action. Liv Morgan versus Naomi. Quick shout out. Liv Morgan doing a bit of Matrix in this match.
Yeah.
She did that like a Matrix thing. Really nice that. Like, Don't see anyone else doing that.
Yeah, Liv Morgan, you can tell that obviously she's been called up from NXT in the last 2 months. You can see that her wrestling skills are still not entirely there, but she can do the basic stuff right. And she wouldn't be called up otherwise if she couldn't do that.
Certainly not. She's got the look.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, like, okay, this group gets compared to Absolution and Raw because, you know, they look the same.
Yeah.
They look the same. They've got a blonde, they've got a brunette, they've got a leader that's a brunette. Ruby Riott has been a wrestler for a long time. Really long time.
Yeah.
She is just as experienced as Paige. Not at that level, I agree. I mean, when I say level, I mean WWE level.
Yeah.
But she has been a wrestler for a long time. So I can see why she's been given that responsibility of having Sarah Logan and Liv Morgan on SmackDown. But again, yeah, she's not there, but you know what? She's doing some cool stuff. She's got the right look. She looks great.
And you're only going to get better in wrestling in the ring, wrestling in front of live crowds if you're actually doing it. So, you know, while it wasn't a great match, you know, it served a purpose.
People won't remember the match. It's like I said, the purpose of the match was obviously Naomi went over, kind of went into that kind of classic Rumble brawl because as the match was kind of drawn to its conclusion, Becky Lynch, Lana, Natalia,
they all come out. And they come out during the match.
Where's Tamina Snuka?
Don't know.
She wasn't there, was she?
She wasn't there. No, I don't
no,
think
she
so.
was the only. I was thinking. I'm looking at all of them and think everyone's here. And
She is 40 now, which is crazy. Tamina is 40. Like I'm sure she celebrated her 40th birthday the other week.
Jesus.
So maybe she's preparing for a retirement home or something. I don't know.
I'll say this now. Natalia is one of those people that I don't think they've ever properly utilised. Tamina is a close second.
Yeah.
They've never properly got in that right spot for her. And I thought they were onto something with Lana, but it doesn't look like they are.
No, but obviously Lana's in the mixed match challenge, so they need to show Lana that she's in. Lana appeared in her wrestling gear. Usually she did. But they need to show her that Lana can wrestle. And obviously they're doing a lot of backstage or videos with Rusev about the mixed match challenge. So maybe her coming out of the wrestling gear actually doing a move. I think she's done a move in the ring, right?
She did. Got an oohs and ahs. Yeah. Very nice.
So which is good to see. So it's just to show that she can actually wrestle.
Was that a thrust kick?
I think so.
The camera wasn't really well. It was kind of like behind Liv Morgan, and she did it anyway. It ended up with Charlotte coming out and basically wishing all the girls luck. And the winner even more luck because if they have to face her at WrestleMania,
and this was after Becky tried throwing Naomi out, and obviously Becky threw Natalia, or so they just threw. Someone just started throwing each other out, pretty much like
everyone tried throwing everybody out, and then I think Becky grabbed Naomi, threw her off, and then she went over, but then she landed on the apron, and it was like that.
And that's when Charlotte came out.
That's when Charlotte came out. I think Natty was just on the steps as well, so it was kind of like everyone was kind of sprinkled.
And they went over the top ropes.
Of course they did.
Yeah, I mean, I know they have to.
What do you think's going to happen?
But there was always that worry, I think, that some people had with the Women's Royal Rumble, that because previous Battle Royals for the Divas back in the day, they were always through the ropes, and that used to bother the hell out of me.
Through the land on the floor?
Yeah, but at least they're going over the top rope.
And because these women are like 10 times better than the ones.
And they've been taking bumps for years. And
they're brilliant. No, I agree. I mean, I think if you're going to do Women's Rumble, you want it to be visually and impactful just as the men's.
Yeah.
Because even whether they like it or not, and I think they probably want it to be. They want it to be compared to the men's, and I guarantee every single woman in that Rumble Sunday will want it to be better than the men's. Yeah. They don't care who's in the men's Rumble, who's in the women's Rumble. They want it to be the best Rumble.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to bring every single fibre of their being on Sunday.
And breaking news as of today as well, Stephanie McMahon will be appearing on commentary for the Women's Royal Rumble.
Hate it. Hate it.
I think it's there for a purpose. As long as she doesn't go into too much about her, I'd be happy with that.
I don't care. She's there. That's enough for me. I don't need why does she? Why not have Beth Phoenix there?
Yeah.
Why is she's doing the mixed match challenge?
Maybe Beth's in the Rumble.
She could.
Stephanie's probably there.
Do you think Steph's in the Rumble?
She potentially could.
Do you think there's a lot of places?
There's a lot of places.
And let's be honest, she looks mint when she's in the ring.
But the rumours, obviously, Miss Ronda Rousey being in it.
Like we will guys on Friday. Me and Kieran. I'm saying this out loud, which means we have to do it. Okay. Yeah. I'm saying it out loud.
Internet and the audio says we have to do it now.
Friday, we're doing a Dirt Sheet Mania Royal Rumble preview. We'll talk about it then. But rumours, very strong rumours that Ronda Rousey will be in the Rumble. Again, we'll talk about that on Friday if we think she will win, if she will be in the Rumble, and who we think our favourites will be. Incidentally, guys, if you do want to chat to us, hashtag DSM Wrestling. Do you like that?
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Hashtag DSM Wrestling.
That stands for Dirt Sheet Mania.
If you're unsure at home.
Yeah.
If you just randomly clicked on this.
Not that we have dirty sheets.
We don't. I have very clean sheets.
I've vaguely clean sheets.
You've had clean sheets for 12 years.
Yeah.
Moving
More than
on.
Arsenal will ever have in their lifetime.
We're in the final of the League Cup. Winner. Right, we move on. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Baron Corbin. Some really nice moves in this match.
Yeah.
Baron Corbin's I'm just going to call it a Blue Thunder Bomb then. He calls it he spins
Deep
around.
Six.
Deep Six. That was sweet.
Is it Deep Six?
Yeah.
He's got Deep Six and he's got the End of Days.
End of Days.
So I think
End of Days is the finish.
Yeah.
The Deep Six is sweet.
Yeah.
Just the way I think Nakamura ran at him and he kind of caught him and he span him around almost like a dance move and he pirouetted in the air. That was really nice, really sweet, really smooth. My favourite move in this entire match was when he did go for the End of Days. Nakamura spun all the way around and just rolled through into an armbar.
Yeah.
That was so nice.
Yeah.
Just
Baron Corbin's a great wrestler. We know what Shinsuke can do. We've seen what Shinsuke can do in NXT. Baron Corbin was in NXT for a bit and he got called up.
Not that long.
He wasn't
NXT champion.
I like Baron Corbin. I don't like what they've done with him.
He got in trouble though.
Yeah, I think he got in a bit of trouble.
He'd have been WWE champion by now,
probably.
maybe.
Well,
maybe.
He had the Money in the Bank briefcase, and
Yeah.
he obviously lost it on that random Smackdown before SummerSlam, was it?
Yeah, very close.
Which I didn't like, but hopefully they've gone now. Look, Baron Corbin's got a look about him where it's like, you don't want to mess with this guy. And you got to remember last year's Royal Rumble, he took out Braun Strowman. He eliminated Braun Strowman.
He did.
Which I think could be a sign of a potential feud down the line. I'd like to see Braun Strowman versus Baron Corbin. Two big, massive monsters trying to just take each other out.
Tell you what, though, Braun will make Baron look like a small child.
Oh, yeah, of course he will.
It's ridiculous.
But that's going to be good. That's just going to be two mean, heavy hitters just going at each other.
If that was the case, could you ever see Baron Corbin as a baby face?
No, but these days being a true baby face, there is not a one true baby face. There's a true. I'd probably say the last one around at the moment. I'd probably say is Johnny Gargano. He's the last true baby face.
Ooh.
Obviously Brian is, but Brian's not wrestling. But
even Brian's kind of in that mixed field at the moment.
Yeah. So I think there's not one true baby face. Cena's starting to even act a little bit heelish at times. Roman Reigns is
Cena and Roman are only heels or faces if you think they are.
Yeah.
Because then you can.
But everyone loves Johnny Gargano.
They do. The finish of this match. Well, it wasn't a finish of Nakamura and Baron Corbin. It was Nakamura setting up for the Kinshasa and literally out of absolutely friggin' nowhere, Randy Orton runs in with a running RKO. Just amazing. I saw a thing online before.
I wasn't expecting this again. The match was good. I was awake for it. I was looking at it, but
it was the fire though that Randy gave after it. He was like it was like he half took his shirt off and then half put his hoodie back on and that's what you're missing from Raw last night. Bit of fire, bit of want.
And this is obviously that they've been a tag team. They've been working together in cahoots for the last couple of months. These two. This isn't just to say that Randy Orton's turned heel. It's not that. There's a Rumble match going on Sunday. It's
every man for himself.
It's every man for himself.
And woman.
Yeah, and woman. Yeah. And the only thing I don't like is Randy Orton's hair.
I like him
I still can't. I just shave it off.
It's like a tufty.
It's just very weird. It's like John Cena going for a ponytail. You know, I just can't.
And he's got that massive bald spot on top.
Yeah, exactly.
Every time he grows his hair out.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
It's terrible. But yeah, no, it was good. Look, an RKO is always going to get that crowd reaction.
That's all he did.
And that's all he did.
And then obviously Corbin, he got Corbin with the RKO as well.
It's all he needed to do. You know, just to go, yep, I'm still here. I'm in the Rumble. I could potentially win it.
I think right now he might be one of those outside favourites.
Yeah.
Because he's always there. He won last year.
He did.
He won
randomly last year.
Very random. And then had a terrible match at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
But he won the Rumble. Let's not forget that he could win it this year as well. We move on. 6-man tag team action. Really nice chemistry with the New Day and Bobby Roode. Really nice chemistry.
Lashley's not here yet.
He's not here yet. He might be Sunday. He might be in that Rumble. Again, we'll talk about that later. But yeah, really like the chemistry between them. Yep. Also, really interesting to see how WWE placed Rusev Day with Jinder.
Yeah,
so that's where they
not. Was Jinder not originally with Rusev on Raw before the draft in April? The superstar shake-up, as it was called.
As a little
I'm pretty sure before Jinder went to SmackDown, that these two were a tag team,
Were they?
just randomly,
Just kind of
just
like
put together because they didn't know what to do with Rusev.
Not to be disrespectful, but were they almost like you're two foreigners
Yeah.
in America?
I'm pretty sure these two were together. It might have been right at the beginning of the brand split,
Right at the beginning.
or even right before they
on SmackDown.
on Raw.
Oh, on Raw.
Yeah, so
because Jinder came from Raw and
so did Rusev, because Rusev and Lana went to SmackDown, didn't they?
They did.
Miz and Maurice went to Raw.
That was it, couple for couple.
Yeah,
That was it.
So yeah, weird, but obviously, look, Jinder lost a US title match last week, so he's obviously going against Bobby Roode. New Day have been in a sort of feud with Rusev Day, just backstage segments.
Day versus Day, really.
Yeah,
it's more funny skits
Yep.
than feud, like we've said before. You don't have to be a heel to be a bad guy. You have to be a babyface to be a good guy. It's how you're positioned. But yeah, I've written on my notes here. Really nice Bobby Roode spinebuster, followed by the elbow drop with peck pop from Xavier Woods.
Yep.
I called them here Team TNA as your Consequences Creed, as Xavier Woods was known in TNA, and of course Bobby Roode was in Team Canada in TNA. So really interesting to see how two TNA guys have kind of come around the circle.
There's a lot of TNA guys that have probably done pretty well since coming into the WWE. Which I think if you would have said 5 years ago, would you have seen AJ Styles as WWE champion?
I would have said
Bobby Roode as US champion. You know,
Samoa Joe is
a big player on Raw.
Monday Night Raw,
you know,
yeah, absolutely.
you wouldn't have seen it. Interestingly, did see a tweet the other day about Impact Wrestling putting a show on Twitch, and it was the triple threat between AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, and Christopher Daniels.
06?
Something like that. 05, 06. Great match. I've seen.
You watch
one
it?
before. I've seen that one.
Oh
before.
wow!
I've seen it before.
You've watched a TNA match.
One of very few TNA things I've seen.
I mean, again, we could talk all day about I think of TNA, what you think of TNA, but brilliant match.
Oh yeah,
if you've never
quality
seen
match.
it,
But I was
please
just
go
like
watch it.
quite clear that they're trying to sort of think, oh look, AJ Styles is WWE champion. Let's put him on our Twitch
The
channel.
second CM Punk did that pipe bomb back in the day, and then he became WWE champion. TNA released a best of CM Punk. He had like 10 matches with them, but they did a DVD. Just the way it is. We move on to our double main event, if you call it double main event.
Yeah, that's what you would call it. It's two matches.
Dual main event. It's 2 in 1, really. You've got AJ Styles said he's going to face CM Punk. He's on my mind now.
Yeah.
Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. He faced Kevin first. This match ended in a submission. Kevin went over and then he kind of buckled his knee. So it was almost like everything's fine. Oh, knee buckle. AJ pounced on it. Now, it's great because obviously that's real life. If you're in a fight and you
go for the injury, you go for what the injured.
You go straight for the injury, and Kevin Owens tapped out straight away.
Yeah.
Made the submission look legit from AJ Styles. And I guess what's what WWE trying to prove, if you're in actually a legitimate fight and somebody gets an injury, you exploit that injury. Kevin Owens went over, didn't really work the leg before that, did he?
No.
And then knee, bang, knee bar, tap. Kept it in. AJ did say he would hurt them both, and he definitely hurt Kevin Owens.
Which goes to obviously he's trying to make an advantage for himself.
Well,
on Sunday
it's 2-on-1.
Yeah.
And like some of the things that AJ Styles did after this are heel tendencies.
Yeah.
But he's on his own.
Yeah.
He needs he
needs every help he can get, every chance he can.
He basically has to act. I know I don't want to sort of blur the lines too much. He kind of has to act like a bit of a dick. He has to act like a heel.
Yeah.
He has to do everything in his power to get some sort of level playing field with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, either now or by Sunday. So anyway, the medics come out and get Kevin. So I should say Sami jumps AJ Styles in the ring, keeps beating him up. The match doesn't really get started.
It honestly felt like 10 minutes before that second match started.
Was there an ad break between
there was
as
an
well?
ad break between it. Kevin Owens was out on the outside for the whole of the second match.
Like literally, because the medic, by the time the match came back, I
wouldn't want that medic team to, if I got run over by a car, I wouldn't want them to take that long.
It took the piss a little bit, didn't it?
I think obviously but was that to play into our minds that Kevin was going to get involved in this match somehow?
Well, I wasn't sure how injured Kevin actually was. I wasn't sure whether how much of a team player this is, if he was happy to take that loss just so Sami could win the next match. He did look hurt. I mean, he sold the injury in kayfabe.
Well, he's actually carrying a legit injury.
Legitimately,
so
he has got
that's
back
why
injury.
the match was short. Obviously, I alluded to it earlier.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
He is carrying an injury. He has been taken off live event matches on live event shows.
Mm-hmm.
So look, this is why the match was short.
Mm-hmm.
I've got no problem with that because it was part of the storyline, part of the match. It told a story. Sammy's come in and had a great match with AJ, which was always going to be the case.
Oh, it was an exceptional match. And at every opportunity, at one point, AJ Styles stomped on Kevin Owens when he was on the outside before he was on the stretcher. And then when he was on the stretcher, he tipped it over.
Yeah.
But then the second AJ got back in that ring, bam, Halloumi kick straight away. And you know what I really liked? It's not normally it's Halloumi kick 1, 2, 3 or Halloumi kick. Then he tries to pin them. He hit the Halloumi kick and then Blue Thunder Bomb. Yeah, really put
and
the extra.
He actually won the Blue Thunder Bomb.
He did, and normally
that's never happens.
It's never happened before. But if they do it in that order, Halloumi kick, Blue Thunder Bomb, really like that. It's kind of that extra little bit of sauce on top of it. The exclamation mark. It is the exclamation mark.
It's John Cena doing an AA after doing an AA.
It's on
AJ Styles at the Rumble last year.
It's like I'm doing it with rolling through. Yeah. No, I really liked this. And if this is how Sammy continues to go, and you know what, it just proves as well that he thinks, okay, I'm not wrestling Heath Slater. Yeah, I'm wrestling AJ Styles. If I don't do a little bit more, how am I going to beat him? Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I know I did like that, and I hope Sammy in future, every time he now does the Halloumi kick, does the Blue Thunder Bomb as a last finish move. Yeah.
I'd like to see him just keep it.
Such a cool move,
you know, we were talking earlier about Reigns doing the Superman punch and then doing a spear, and no one kicks out the spear. Yeah, I'd like it to be like that. Just do the Helluva kick. That's it.
No Blue Thunder Bomb,
but only do the Blue Thunder Bomb.
Excuse me.
In those matches, in those times that he needs to do it, in those big title matches, in those big 5-on-5 elimination matches, or some, just in those big matches,
Well, there we go, folks. That's the end of SmackDown. SmackDown Live. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn standing victorious in Sami's case. 1 win, 1 loss.
Will they be standing victorious on Sunday, Craig?
We shall
find out in our preview show and what we think.
We will, folks. So that's pretty much it from now. For me, I'm the voice, Craig Anderson. Thank you very much to the Director of Creativity, Kieran Smith.
Yeah, that's me. Thanks. Cheers. See you next week.
Guys, check us out on Friday. We'll be on YouTube. Check us out. Always hashtag DSM Wrestling. Check us out on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Thank you very much, guys. We'll see you on Friday.